day, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks immensely for joining us on yet another edition of your weekly magazine program known as Home News Roundup, where we size up major making news events that have caught the attention of press men and women all over the National Triangle. Of course, one-time American President John F. Kennedy said, and I quote, "Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other," end of quote. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, lots and lots of events caught the attention of pressmen and women this week. This week, some youths in Boya, just like in Bamenda and Yaoundé and Marwa, they are marching against a group of guys known as Brigade Anti-Sadina. According to the youth, they are denouncing acts of violence perpetrated on the Minister of Youth Affairs, Monuna Foto, and the ambassador, the Cameroon ambassador to Belgium, that was attacked in Belgium. The youths in Boya are calling on the governor of the Southwest region, Bernard Okalabilai, to channel their plight to the #1 statesman, President Paul Biya. According to the youth, it is unacceptable for a minister to be attacked. We shall be taking you over to Boya to listen to Governor Bernard Okalabilai and the youth president who led that march in Boya. And of course, still this week, a group of guys specialized in fake stamps and fake documents have been nabbed by elements of the forces of law and order in Yaoundé Center region of the country. The guys were presented to the press, and the commissioner in Yaoundé is saying that this group of guys have extorted much money from gullible Cameroonians. We shall be taking you over to the center region for you to get the exclusive interview of the commissioner in Yaoundé. The March session has opened for March. It opens on the 11th of March 2025 in both the lower and upper houses, while in the lower house, the eldest member of the National Assembly, Nkowan Vege Laurentine, called on Cameroonians to maintain peace before, during, and after the presidential elections, and said that nothing should be done to jeopardize the peace that Cameroonians are enjoying. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a resume of what caught the attention of the news desk of Home TV. I am Prince Mukage, Joelin Douala, Cameroon. Thank you immensely for staying with us. John F. Kennedy once said that leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. We are blessed that you joined us in this week's edition of your weekly magazine program known as Home News Roundup. Of course, you took the right decision. Keep watching programs on this channel. And of course, just to see that you can follow us live on Facebook on Home TV, as well as on YouTube on Home TV Cameroon. Leave your comments, send your reactions, and of course, we shall be reading them live on the program. And in the course of the program, we're going to display a number through which you can call and give your reactions live on the program. A very rich panel that I want you to discover in the course of the program. And of course, like we did announce in some of our lead stories, a group of guys in Boya, just like in Bamenda, in Yaoundé and in Marwa, have marched in the streets of Boya. The group of guys are calling on the government of Cameroon to sanction these guys who attacked the Minister of Youth Affairs, Monuna Foto. The guys moved all through Bongo Square right up to the governor's office, where they told Governor Bernard Okalabilai that the attack on the Minister of Youth Affairs, Monuna Foto, is unacceptable, and that it is time the government sanctioned this group of guys who attacked not only the Minister of Youth Affairs, Monuna Foto, but also Cameroonian ambassador to Belgium. Let's go listen to the governor of the Southwest region, Bernard Okalabilai, talk to the youths in Boya.
Two started from over there. So you are right. And the reassure the local authority and the entire authorities.
Governor Bernard Okalabilai talking to the youths in Boya at the governor's office in Boya. Many thanks to our Southwest correspondent, Jama Richard, for those elegant images and interviews. Let's now listen to the youth president who led the youth to the governor's office. To the president, he said it is unacceptable that Cameroon is first of all going through a lot of problems, most particularly in the northwest and the southwest region, and that the attack on the Minister of Youth Affairs, Monuna Fotso, and the Ambassador is unacceptable and that it is time for the government of Cameroon to take action. Let's listen to the youth.
Yeah, we don't come here today because of these people who call themselves Brigade Anti-Sadina. They did for France, they did for Belgium, they did for Switzerland. We want just send a message for them. Say we need to accept violence for no reason. Say we don't taste violence. We will do for ground zero. We don't taste violence. And we know how it start the last time. They start now, so people who they did for outside. Small people start to go. We don't lost papa, lost mommy, you lost young people. For some we say we don't cry tire. And we don't talk, say we don't want them again. So that announcement they make them, may they end them among themselves. If some man gets until he get them against government, he get right for take over government, may stand for election.
The youths in Boya, just like in Bamenda, in the center, Marwa, are saying it is unacceptable and that it is a waste of time and resources. And of course, are calling on the government of Cameroon to take stringent measures to bring this group of guys known as Brigade Anti-Sadina to book. And of course, it's expected that in the days ahead, the government of Cameroon, via its territorial minister, Paula Tanganji, of course, is going to do something in regards to this. Away from that, let's take you over to the center region, precisely in Yaoundé, where a group of guys specialize in fake stamps and fake documents have been nabbed by the elements of forces of law and order. The group of guys that have several stamps belonging even to some ministers, delegates and directors were nabbed by the forces of law and order after they have taken whooping sums from some gullible Cameroonians. Let's listen to the commissioner who headed this operation that facilitated the capture of these guys of the underworld.
Depuis le lancement du dernier concours de la police, nous sommes tombés par vigilance justement sur de nombreux cas de faux timbres fiscaux, notamment timbres à encre. Et pour mieux être outillés, nous avons dû, lors du précédent concours, faire une requête auprès des autorités fiscales et des timbres pour connaître effectivement les différentes qualités d'un timbre authentique. Et cette réquisition nous a permis d'avoir toutes ces qualités, discerner le vrai du faux. C'est ainsi que tout récemment, nous avons eu le cas d'une dame qui devait renouveler son passeport. Et comme le font la plupart des responsables, elle a commissionné un de ses hommes de main du quartier Mendon qui est venu ici avec des documents personnels, justement avec de faux timbres. Nous avons interpellé le porteur de ces documents, à savoir le nommé Ojongobi Akbor, Lucien, âgé de 29 ans, originaire du sud-ouest, notamment de la Mayo Division.
And of course, that is the group of guys that were nabbed. Congratulations to the forces of law and order for a marvelous job they're doing out there. And of course, away from that, the March session has opened. On the 11th of March 2025, the lower and upper houses flung their doors open. As you can see, members of the National Assembly getting into the glass house, while those of the Senate were in the building that is meant for the Economic and Social Council. This because the Senate does not have a permanent building as of now. And of course, it was a moment of reflection at the National Assembly where the eldest member of the National Assembly, in the person of Madame Nkowa Mvege Laurentine, called on Cameroonians politicians to maintain peace before, during and after the presidential elections. Let's go listen to some parliamentarians who spoke to the communication officer of the National Assembly in the person of Ekema.
By the eldest member, she was talking about election. So, how do you feel about that speech, and what do you say?
Okay, from what our elder in assembly have just said, I would like to relate everyone in Cameroon, everybody in Cameroon, even the people who are organizing the election, that they should organize the election in a peaceful way, because we the parliamentarian, we don't expect war again in Cameroon. They should try to organize in a way that everybody will be satisfied and the way that will not create problem in Cameroon.
Some of the members of the lower house reacting to the opening of the March session of the National Assembly. And of course, our first topic for today is decision making of what relevance is the National Assembly and the Senate. That's our first topic for today. You can go follow us live on Facebook on Home TV, just like you can follow us on YouTube on Home TV Cameroon. And those numbers you have on your screens, please send us text messages or you can call us live and give your reactions. Of course, the panel of today is a very rich one. We're going to begin with the ladies before the men. We're in the company of Madame Backup Carol. She is an independent candidate for the presidential elections come October 2025. She traveled all the way from Yaoundé to come be a guest. Madame Carol Backup, thank you immensely for accepting to be a guest on this week's edition of the program Home News Roundup.
Okay, good afternoon, Prince, and good afternoon to all the panelists. I'm happy to be here. I want to greet all the Cameroonians and all the televiewers of Home TV. What I have to say to Cameroonians: this is your country, and you have to fight for it, not fighting with guns or white weapons, but fighting with your vote, with your voice, showing the international and the national opinions that we are not animals in here. We are human beings, we are parents, and our duty is to make sure we prepare and set the ground for our children to come. So I wish you the best.
In Yaoundé and in Marwa, they are denouncing any forms of violence. The Minister of Youth Affairs, Monuna Fotso, was attacked in Belgium. The youth in Boya are saying it is unconstitutional, it is illegal, and are calling on the government of Cameroon to do something. What's your reaction to the action? Is applaudable, or someone not far from the bush was hitting the drum?
It's unconstitutional for sure, and it's applaudable. That's good. I'm so surprised to see youth fighting to preserve the, how can I put it, the dignity, I want to say. So for the minister Munafuso, but I've not seen youth in this nation rising to march against the injustice we are facing. Children are dying here and there. Children are being raped. People are suffering. The teachers rose up last time to to plead for what belongs to them. I've not seen youth joining them to ask the state to do something. And I'm asking myself, who is profiting this march? Why have they given them the authorization to march, although some other association and institution cannot afford to do so? So I just want to plead with the youth not to fall in the game where they will see use them for 7 years. 7 years of hunger, 7 years of joblessness, 7 years of aggression or violence, and they are complice or part of it. You should be very careful this time around. If we are doing anything, we are doing anything for the betterment of all the Cameroonians, not for the interest of a group of people.
All right. Also in the company of another beautiful lady that traveled all the way from Yaoundé. Her name is Queen Njokem. She is a human rights activist, someone who believes that she should defend the rights of the underprivileged, and she's also a member of the Popular Actions Party, the PAP political party. Thank you immensely, Queen. Just to say that, just like Madame Carol, you traveled all the way from Yaoundé to come and be our guest. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Prince Mukage. And good afternoon to my co-panelists. Good afternoon to all the beautiful viewers. Really grateful, and whenever it comes to matters pertaining to our country, I can travel miles to be present, because I think and I believe that it is my civic responsibility to be engaged in anything that will promote the betterment of Cameroon.
Youth in Boya, your youth were marching to denounce all forms of violence.
I saw the news report about the march, the protest of young people to denounce the aggressive reaction or response that the minister faced. It is a great thing that they did, but it is unfortunate because I would have preferred that youth should rally and march for better reasons. Okay. Of course, the minister is a significant personality in our country, and we want to uplift the image and the reputation of our country, but I am sorry to say that the governance system of Cameroon has smashed the face of Cameroon to the mud so many times, and a country that is so about when there was the Gabo incident, right, in solidarity with the minister, I would only say that it will be better if they can use this same energy to go out for the betterment of Cameroon.
Okay. Also in the company of Dr. Reverend Mbe Christian. He is a certified counselor and a member of the civil society. Traveled all the way from Limbe to come be a guest. Thank you immensely, Reverend Dr. Mbe Christian, for accepting to be a guest.
Thank you very much, Joy. I'm very delighted. I'm always there, you know, to talk on behalf of the people and the hopeless people, for people, voiceless people. And I'm so happy to be here. And I believe that being here today is to help us to address a lot of things, worry over the people, what the people are going through, the challenges they are facing, and then make our society become better. Sometimes when we go to a platform like this to talk some things and to clarify some and to give some examples, it's not that we hate our country too much, but we believe that there's time for change, and that
the youths. Yeah. But according to the two ladies who've spoken first, they think that it is laudable, yes, but that Cameroon has more problems that would have motivated youth to march for, instead of marching for something that happened in Germany.
Yeah,
or rather in Belgium.
Yeah, Mr. Joue, you know, sometimes when you see youths which believe that they are out of the country, they are in diaspora, and they are doing such an action, then we know that the government, I used to say to many people that Cameroon government for now is very unpopular. It's a very unpopular government. People don't want the government. They say they are willing. They know that they are very, 95% very unpopular. I used to tell people that if you look at the government today, if you have ever learned about the Italian mafia in those days, this is how the government operates. They operate in the mafia system, whereby they themselves, they manipulate youth. They make youth to become, they don't think, they make youth become vulnerable for them to use them for their political gain. All this much you are seeing like that, I don't believe that it's for the political gain, and how they can make the youth to feel that, and to go with their slogan in their party that the youth are the leader of tomorrow, which instead the youth are the users. Because when we talk about youth going into march, to me, I see that it's a good step. Because it's just to tell the people in diaspora and the international community that Cameroon is not fine. The fish head is already spoiled, so they need to do something before the body of the fish gets bad. Okay. And yes, that's what they are trying to tell the international community. And one of the things that I believe that the Cameroonian government is mobilizing you to march is because they have already.
Is it the government that is mobilizing them?
No, it's them that are doing that, because Mr. Joel, my sister, they have given a lot of the Gabo and other things that we believe government official, the joke cannot sit down that you march on the street where you know that it does not profit the government, which is bad. There must be a policy that guides you going. I can be an interview and look at, okay, there's too much garbage and sewage around Douala. I need somebody to hear about it. And the Joe will offer me, Joe will say no, Joe will refuse it. But if you say I want to march to say the government is doing right, for example, I'll give you a clear example here. When the bishops, they say that no, it's time for the government to do transition, they cry foul. But when the chiefs they came, they say no, it's good. They say what? They stay quiet. So that is the government. Okay. So you understand who they are, and that's how they manipulate the population for their political gain. But we think that such of leadership.
All right. Also in the company of Mr. Te Henry, he is a member of the Social Democratic Front and second national president, is that, of the
second national socialist youth coordinator.
All right. Your take, youths are marching to say that no to violence in Cameroon. But most of the other panelists think that someone somewhere is the one who is behind this movement that the youths took to the street to denounce forms of violence in the country.
Well, thank you, Mr. Joel. Good afternoon to my co-panelists and the millions of televiewers you have out there. Mr. Joel, from what I can tell you, certainly, is that these youths are manipulated.
All right.
I'm talking as the assistant divisional national youth coordinator for Mongo.
All right.
So we've seen the cases of Boya, we've seen Bamenda, we've seen Marwa, Ngaundere. So we are waiting for the turn of Littoral.
Yeah.
And we already know what has been planned.
Just to say that the Secretary General at the Presidency, Minister of State, Secretary General Ferdinand Gongo is in Douala, and he received some youths from the Northwest and the Southwest who told him that they are giving 100% support to President Paul Biya.
Yeah, we know what has been planned already. We know the next step. Okay. The youth, because according to me, the bus is not different from a terrorist group.
Okay.
Yes, that's clear. But what baffles me is the promptness these youths engage in to march against the attacks on the ministers and on the minister and the.
Okay.
There have been atrocities in the northwest and the southwest regions all over the country. Cameroon is insecure. We have joblessness everywhere. So they should. All youths constitute more than 70% of this country, the population of this country.
Let's take somebody here. People are already there. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yeah, Home TV, you're welcome to the program.
Oh, la oh, 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 oh,